Bucks just traded away their franchise superstar, but they may have found the next one in this 2026 NBA draft. Bucks fans should be excited by what Brayden Burries showed in Summer League, and I watched every moment of Burries' Summer League run, and here's why Bucks fans should be thrilled about their next franchise leader. They drafted Brayden Burries with the 10th overall pick, and he showed his stuff in Summer League. He averaged 23.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 4.3 assists, and 3.3 stocks, that's steals plus blocks, per game in the Las Vegas Summer League, while shooting 50% from the field. He barely turned the ball over, and he looked like a potential future star for the Milwaukee Bucks. He earned first team NBA Summer League, and remember how stacked the 2026 draft class is, featuring players like Garen Peterson, Caleb Wilson, Cameron Boozer, AJ DeBonsa, and more. So it's quite impressive for Burries to rank among these players. Let's break down some film and look at 3 plays from Burries' last Summer League game against the Sixers that really exemplify why he could end up being a potential future franchise cornerstone for the Milwaukee Bucks. For play number 1, we're going to start at the end. It's 94-94 with 7 seconds left in Brayden Burries' final Summer League game. He's bringing the ball up against Philadelphia, getting a screen, plowing right through a defender, and scoring. This would be Burries' 26th and 27th point of the night. This was his highest scoring game in his final game as well. Let's break down how Brayden Burries is able to win the game for the Bucks on this play. Now, the Bucks set up a simple little ball screen here. It's barely even a screen. The screener is just trying to brush away the defender and give Brayden Burries a little bit of a runway to attack the basket. And he's a phenomenal rim attacker. He was a great finisher and driver in college who used his strength and speed to routinely get to the basket against college defenses. He was an accomplished high school scorer, and he's doing that in Summer League, but his strength and physicality are just so overwhelming. Burries turns the corner on this ball screen, and he isn't able to create a clean advantage downhill. So what does he do? He throws his shoulder into the defender, and notice how low he gets. His leverage here is strong. He gets his shoulder beneath the defender's shoulder, generating that leverage he needs to push the defender out of the way, and that's exactly what happens. Burries throws that shoulder, this defender goes flying backwards and almost falls over, completely losing his balance. But the play's not over. Number 62 is coming in to contest Brayden Burries, and he's on his strong right hand. But one of the best things about Brayden Burries has always been his ambidextrous finishing. He's such a talented finisher with both his left and his right hand that he's able to get around contests like this no problem. So when 62 flies in, Burries can jump off of his right foot and lay the ball in, extend it with his left hand, and scoop it into the rim on his way down. That's a high-level drive in a high-level moment, and that 2-pointer ends up winning the Bucks their final Summer League game. But before that, Burries was driving on the Sixers team all game. He was slashing like a monster throughout Summer League, and that continued throughout this game into our next clip, where earlier in the 4th quarter, Burries is going to once again bring the ball up the floor, but this time we're going to see him take advantage of his great pacing and timing as a finisher rather than just the brute strength. Now, the Bucks are going to set up a 77 action double drag screen. You have 2 ball screens and early offense for Burries to go from one side of the court to the other side. Starts on that top of the key on the right. He's going to take it over to the left side, and the ball screen defender does a pretty good job of sticking over the screens. You have one roller and one popper, but notice how 88 is going to lean his momentum forward just a little bit as Burries is about to start his drive into the paint, and that's all Burries needs. He doesn't have to plant super hard and explode downhill to the basket on a play like this because he catches his defender pressuring and leaning over too far forward. It's a great job by Burries to use his defender's leverage against him, blow by, and get to the basket. Now we have Burries in open space, and he could pass to 27 popping out, but he notices his defender, 88, is peeling off to take away the shooter, so he's going to have a one-on-one with the screener defender, and he can just go right over guys. But once again, check the tricky footwork. He's going to jump off of his left foot and finish inside with the right hand. He loves to jump off his left foot and finish with his left hand. That's one of his favorite moves, especially in transition, and that quote-unquote wrong foot finish is really effective for throwing off the timing of the shot blocker, but he goes for the more normal timing, quote-unquote normal timing on this finish, where Burries uses his great explosiveness vertically. He hangs in the air, scoops the ball in, and finishes off of the double drag screen. But Brayden Burries is more than just a top-of-the-key pick-and-roll initiator. He's a great shot maker from three-point range. He didn't hit any in this game necessarily, but that's something he has in his bag. And because of his great size and strength, especially compared to a lot of other point guards, Burries is able to win in the post, like we see on this third clip. Once again, fourth quarter, a little bit later, 83 to 86, and Burries is going to find him matched up with a smaller defender on the empty side of the floor, and he's going to go to work in the post and finish what maybe even should have been an and one. But I don't imagine Burries is going to be posting up a ton in the NBA. Very few players do, even big men, but it's a great thing, especially in the postseason when the game slows down, to have in your bag as a counter. And Burries being able to use his size to exploit smaller defenders on switches is going to be really important. So we see Burries begin backing down his defender from the three-point line, and he hits him with a little bit of a hesitation, like he's going to spin to the baseline. Then Burries drives to the middle, but he actually is setting back up to spin into all of that empty space. Look at how wide open the paint is before Burries spins back into that space. So when Burries spins back to his right hand, he has all of the space in the world to operate. And from there, it's just letting his size and his strength take advantage. I do think you could see more 2-foot finishes from Burries down the line, but he's so strong finishing off of 1 foot here, where even as the defender is kind of able to stay in his pocket, he's able to lean backwards and finish with touch. And notice the slight deceleration here too. He accelerates off the spin move, takes a long second stride off of his left foot, and is able to slow down a bit to give himself the angle to softly bank that shot off the glass. He was a phenomenal driving threat in Summer League, and if Brayden Burries is going to end up being a future star for the Milwaukee Bucks, he's going to need to lean on his slashing prowess. And Burries showcased all of the stuff that made him a lottery pick in the 2026 NBA draft during his Summer League tenure. He scored efficiently. He was creating shots for others, hitting threes off the dribble, getting to the basket, and playing defense. He was very effective jumping passing lanes, using his strength to wall off drivers as well. And there's a ton of potential for Burries to thrive as a two-way player. Now, we're going to see what his ceiling ends up being in Milwaukee. With Giannis Antetokounmpo out of the way, he's going to have all of the opportunity in the world to bring the ball up. And there's a lot of talented guards in Milwaukee's backcourt. Ryan Rollins had a little bit of a breakout season last year, proving himself a legit self-creator, often in the absence of Giannis Antetokounmpo. And of course, they traded for Tyler Herro, but Kasparas Jakucionis is also an interesting young guard who was drafted in 2025 by Miami that they ended up trading for. So it's not going to all be on Burries to carry the load. And part of what makes Burries such a good player is that he's an exceptional off-ball player. This is what he did all the time in college, attacking off the catch, running in transition, doing complementary things that help you fit next to other superstars. So even if Brayden Burries doesn't end up parlaying his incredible Summer League performance into a future superstar development, it's easy to project him as a very strong NBA player. But hey, based on the way Brayden Burries was playing, the way that he was driving in this video, creating downhill, using his pacing, his strength, his touch, his footwork to score and create in various different ways, the future seems to be really, really bright for him. And if Burries can develop in the way that people hope he can, we can see Milwaukee begin to turn things around with him as a centerpiece in the post-Giannis Antetokounmpo era that has been coming for so long, it seems.